Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Moltrap here once again, doing game 2 of Air Force Ace versus STX Seoul. And by the way, I just realized that I started off my first commentary of the set by saying I was tired, but I didn't actually explain why I was tired. I actually just got back from doing a run. I used to do a lot of cross country, and even a few years ago, I was training for this 6 mile race, um, which isn't very far, but you know it's decent, I guess. Anyway, I'm trying to get back into running. It's slow going because being at grad school, I didn't have much time to do any running, so I haven't. I'm really out of shape, but I'm trying to get back into it. I think I did probably. I didn't like measure it, but I probably did a couple miles today, so hopefully I'll be able to keep up with that. Um, in fact, usually I decided what I was going to do is usually it's easier for me to like stick to something if I've told other people that I was going to do it. So like, you know, if I say like, "Oh, I should, you know, do such and such," then I might do it, but you know, I might not. But if I'm like committed to other people that I was going to do it, I definitely am going to do it. So here I'm going to officially publicly commit that I'm going to run at least 3 times a week until I go to Korea. Um, or until, you know, I guess if there's something else that happens that makes it so I can't run much. But anyway, but hopefully I'm going to Korea next month, or possibly soon thereafter. So I'm going to start running 3 times a week. So now, if I don't do it 3 times a week, and I will be letting everyone down because I have said publicly that I was going to, and that will help me to do so. All right, 3 times a week at least. All right, so we are going to be seeing Casey versus Hwasin here, and that should be fun to watch. By the way, people for some reason over the years keep telling me that I pronounce Hwasin wrong. Hwasin is how I've been told to pronounce it by people that speak Korean. I used to say Hwasin, um, but people told me that was wrong, so now I pronounce it Hwasin. That's how people have told me to say it. If that's wrong, if I'm still mispronouncing it, I'm sorry, but that's how I'm going to say it. Anyway, Hwasin versus Casey should be a fun matchup. It's on one of the new maps again. Well, all the Pro League maps are pretty new actually, so pretty much every match is going to be on a new map. But this is on Heartbreak Ridge, which is the one with kind of a plateau in the middle, and then kind of spokes going out from the middle on big ridges. So it's going to be a really good TVT map actually. This should be a very fun TVT to watch because of that. By the way, oh, I should have mentioned this, I guess, at the beginning of the video, but some people complain about, like, me just saying random stuff at the beginning of videos, talking about my thesis or whatever. So, for those people, that's fine. I don't care if you don't like hearing my stories, but a lot of people do like hearing my random stories, so I'm not going to stop. But here's what my advice would be, is that do what I do when I watch, like, a Korean vid. I usually, like, just skip, you know, 3 or 4 minutes into the video, and skip, you know, like the time that we're seeing now where they're just like mining SCVs or mining and stuff. You know, I usually just skip over that. So, you know, that could be something that you might do if you don't like hearing the intro stuff and all that. You can just you know, skip a few minutes into the video and then you'll be able to cut right in when the action starts theoretically. So, just an idea. Anyway, yeah, it should be. And there's the drawing that we saw getting started earlier, um, of Hwasin. And like I said, this should be a fun map for TVT. A lot of ridges, a lot of ups and downs and backs and forth. There's a lot of ways that you can flank around and stuff. So it's going to be a lot of army movement and that sort of thing. It could be very, very interesting actually. Yeah, Casey actually, by the way, I know, you know, people don't like. Um, well, people all know that, like, you know, the members of Ace are kind of, you know, not the best players, and they're not. Um, by the way, I guess I should mention that Hwasin is the Terran, the Teal Terran, and Casey is the Brown Terran. There's Reach, by the way. I'm not sure why they're talking about. Well, they must be talking about him. That's why they're showing him. Um, he's going to be playing in the 4th game of this set, assuming it gets there. Ace could sweep. Ace could sweep 3-0. And then Reach wouldn't play, but if not, then Reach is going to be playing Cal in the 4th game. Anyway, what was I saying before? Oh yeah. The members of Ace like aren't the best players, but Casey is actually pretty decent at TVT. He started off the Pro League season by doing really well in some really good TVT matches, actually. And then he's kind of fell off and he lost like 4 or 5 games in a row. So statistically, he doesn't look like he's doing too good. But I know he's capable of some really good TVT, is my point. Not that long ago, he was doing really well in TVT. So now you can see that that's one of the little ridges there, one of the spokes. And here, this SCV going across the middle is also going to go on one of those little ridge spokes. So both players going across the map. It is a 2-player map, so they know exactly where to go. But interestingly, the SCVs decided to take different routes regardless. Anyway, pretty standard so far. Both players going for factories. It looks like Casey has taken the SCVs off gas. He's just going to be going one factory into a command center. And probably something similar for, Hwasin doing the same exact thing. He's got one SCV on gas now as well. So, yeah, pretty much the same thing. And that scout's still running around. That single Marine, produced probably solely to kill this SCV scout, is running around trying to chase it. And, oh yeah, that was the other thing. Did you see that tiny choke point there? This map, you have an expansion pretty nearby to your base, but then there's a tiny choke point, and this game is showing you all the different weird aspects of the map, aren't you? There's also like buildings in the corners and mineral patches and things, so you can go around behind players' bases as well. So yeah, it's just kind of a weird map in general. I think that I think this is the one with small choke points. Let me double check in the background here. Let me know if anything happens, because I'm not paying attention to the screen right now. Yes, this is the one where there's like a very small choke point that you go through to get your natural expansion, and that's on the low ground. And then if you go through that building or through the mineral patch, you actually come on this high ground ridge that comes in behind the natural. So yeah, so it's a really kind of a sneaky way to get through there. Anyway, yes, we're seeing some vultures being produced here. Just kind of pretty standard TVT opening stuff. Not much pressure being put on by either player. It looks like Casey's going to move in with a single Marine and a couple of vultures just to try and do some pressure. If he can actually pick off that SCV, that would be good, but he's not going to go for it. There's too many forces in the area. Casey doing some decent micro. Nicely done. Loses his Marine. Takes out a single vulture. It looks like he is going to lose his vulture, but not before he... No, oh no, the repairs for the win. Looks like, oh wait, second vulture coming in. Oh, is going to take out that vulture. Nicely done. Nicely done by Casey there. And finishing off that Marine as well. So despite Hwasin having SCVs nearby to repair that vulture, he still manages to force down. Although Hwasin doing a good job with those repairs, kind of keeping things relatively even, despite the fact that he had one or two less forces. Anyway, more vulture battles going on in the middle here. It looks like Casey's going to lose this one, but he's still doing all right here. And oh, nice! Casey actually, nice! I didn't know you could do that with that choke point. He landed his barracks to block the vultures from getting out, and they're really confused now, to prevent reinforcements from getting out. And that's also going to buy him time to, you know, if he hadn't done that, then Hwasin would have been able to send those vultures to his base, to Casey's base, and theoretically do some damage there. And he's actually snuck a vulture in. Hwasin has now snuck a vulture in behind Casey's natural expansion. It looks like he may be able to fire down. Yeah, he's going to fire down at that base there. But in the meantime, Casey is taking out SCVs there, and the vultures are blocked in, not able to reinforce, not able to take out those vultures. So he's going to get looks like 4 or 5 SCV kills, and then still run out of the area and get out unscathed, escaping those vultures away. So nicely done by Casey. That was a really good ploy, actually. And oh, nice! I didn't notice that was his barracks up there. So Hwasin doing similar feat, actually, going and landing his barracks to block reinforcements, taking out that single vulture on the ridge. So some crazy play. Nice play on both sides, using their barracks to block things and then taking advantage for the moment by buying time with the barracks. Looks like Casey has a sizable force of vultures actually heading towards Hwasin's base. He's got a few extra vultures. He could take an advantage here if he wins this battle, although Hwasin has a shorter reinforcement route, so I think Casey's probably going to have to run soon, but actually he is taking him out pretty quickly. Hwasin down to just 3 vultures. 2 vultures left, and he's trying to fight with SCVs against vultures.